Let's wait for a few people to join and then we can start. Why is that deleted? Did it? Guys, I cannot believe that it is still January. Like, January is unnecessarily long. Hi. It's long and we tend to go broke around this time of the year because we used most of our money in December and all of that. So I wish January was just like 2 weeks long. It's long, shame. It's long. Mm-mm. I hope y'all been good though. I've also been good, just tired. I've honestly been exhausted. I am honestly not adapting to this weather. I don't want to lie. I am honestly not adapting to it. It's hot. It's very hot. I know it was cold for a few days, a few weeks actually. It has been raining for like, I don't remember for how long. And then after that, it just became hot. So I am not adapting, shame. It's too much. It's honestly too much. I I can't. One thing about this weather, it's making me tired most of the time. And like I am always tired. I am always tired. Like, I can't. At the same time, I don't enjoy winter. Like but also I hate mosquitoes. The mosquitoes that come with this weather, they're too much. And my body attracts mosquitoes a lot, so I need to go see one of my relatives. Is at the hospital. Like, oh Jesus, why did I grow up, ma? Like, why did I grow up? Why? I, growing up comes with a lot of responsibilities. Hey, it comes with a lot of responsibilities. Responsibilities. I know when I was young, I wanted to be. What did my uncle say now? Like when I was young, I wanted to be. I wanted to grow up. I wanted to grow up. Now that I'm old, I man, every day it's just I just have a lot of responsibilities. Let me put it like that. So okay guys, I think we should start because it's almost visiting hours at the hospital and yeah. So anyways, hey guys, welcome to another episode of Reading My Subscribers Scary Stories, right? I got these stories from Reddit. I almost said Facebook, from Reddit. Okay. The first story reads, yo, this chair is too short. It is too short. But it's fine. Okay, let's start. The first story, it's titled, My Mom Didn't Believe Me Until Our Roommate Saw the Same Thing. The title is already catchy. Okay. A little backstory. Growing up in my childhood house, I was deathly afraid of the basement. Being a kid, I had no rhyme or reason as to why. This had okay. This had gone on for the whole time I lived in the house. We lost the house when I was 13 to a divorce that happened between my mom and stepdad. 4 years later, due to my stepdad putting the house into foreclosure, sorry, my mom got the house back when I was 17. So when we were moving back in, my mom asked me to put food in the freezer. I told myself I'm older. Remember that this guy or this girl is scared of the basement, and by the look of things, the freezer is it's somewhere down there in the basement. Okay. To put in the freezer, I told myself I'm older. I'm not going to be afraid of the basement anymore. Okay. With my newfound confidence, I went to the laundry room where the freezer was. As I went to turn on the light, which was just a string attached to the light bulb on the ceiling, in the corner of my eye, I saw a little girl. She was white-ish or see-through with shoulder-length hair and white dress, maybe about 10 years old, with my hand still in the air. I turned away from the girl and slowly walked out of the laundry room. What am I talking about? I'm reading my subscribers' scary stories, bruh. Did you not read the title? Ugh. Trying to be kind. Now I can't even see okay, with my hand still in the air, okay? I turned away from the girl and slowly walked out of the laundry room, trying to be calm. I walked out, and when I hit the stairs, I ran up the stairs on all four. I got to my mom trying to tell her what I saw, and she brushed it off. That's the thing with parents. Parents wait until something happens. When you tell them about your experience or about something that happened, they are just gonna be like, nah. Most parents take it light, they take it light. Your accent South African, yes, I'm South African. They tend to be like, nah, man, it's nothing. It's just your imagination, this and that. But no, that is not your imagination. Okay, I turned away. She brushed it. Okay, tell her what I saw, and she brushed it off. About a week later, our roommate told my mom that while she was doing my makeup downstairs, what the hell did you write? About a week later, our roommate told my mom that while she was doing her makeup, sorry, okay, while she was doing her makeup downstairs in her room, the one next to the laundry room with her door open, the way she had her mirror placed in front of the door, she could see into the hallway. Okay. She described the same little girl standing in the doorway off to side. She was freaking out and told my mom. My mom asked her if she talked to me about this and if I had told her anything about what I saw, and she said no. She confirmed it with me, and I said no, I haven't told her. So the little girl it might be that someone died in that house, the way I see it, right? She confirmed it. Okay, let's quickly fast forward. Ooh, what's happening with this phone? Okay. Hi, guys, can y'all please give me a minute? I'm just trying to sort this thing out. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so I was here, girl, the same little girl. My mom asked if she talked to me about this, and I said no. Okay, so why is it not fast forwarding? Like, what's going on? Okay. My mom finally believed me and started to freak out. Weird stuff kept happening in that house probably until I moved out. I'm 32 now, and I've been in and out of my mom's house since I first moved out when I was 19. Nothing has happened until about 3 months ago. We've been hearing weird we've been hearing weird shit. I'll tell those stories another time. Yo, that house is haunted. It is haunted. If you made it this far, thanks for hearing me about something I can't wrap my head around. Like, dude, that house is haunted. It is haunted. I tried to rationalize myself saying it's a hallucination because what? Okay, I don't know. I tried to rationalize myself saying it's a hallucination I meant, but how come our roommate experienced the same girl? Your roommate experienced the same girl because your house is haunted. I mean, it is haunted. That is what's happening. I've never stayed in a haunted, I've never stayed in a haunted. I've always wanted to explore haunted houses or haunted hospitals, but I don't want to do it alone. And the people that I want to do it with, they're not interested. That they are not interested. But like I've always wanted to like experience something like that. Let me put it like that. But at the same time, I'm like, hi, let me not put my mind into something that I might not be able to handle at the end of the day, you see. But no. Okay. The second story. Can the same ghost be in multiple residences. Can it though? Can it? I don't know. Okay, that's the title, by the way. I live in the historic neighborhood of a somewhat famous historic town in a historic home constructed 1905. When we first moved in, we had an experience where we found our small child, only child at the time, engaged in conversation with someone we could not see. Oh, one thing about children, one thing about, no, children, let me not say babies, they can see things. They can see things. Okay. We asked her about her friend, and she said he was a boy who lived a long time ago and he was nice. It was weird, but we did not read too much into it. Later, I was speaking to a neighbor, and she mentioned that 20 years ago, in her historic home, her young son used to see and converse with the ghost of a boy. Did you guys hear that? She shared this anecdote on her own. I did not first tell her my own story, okay? Later, I had what? Okay. Later, I had a separate conversation with yet another neighbor who reported the same thing. Haibo, what's happening in that neighborhood? Later, I had a separate conversation with yet another neighbor who reported the same thing. Okay. Is the neighborhood hazing us? Or is it possible to have a neighborhood ghost that visits multiple residences? It might be that. It might be that. The way I see it, it might be that. I am new to the paranormal what? Okay, I'm new to the paranormal. I don't know. Please be kind. So yeah, it might be that. It might be that there's a ghost in that area that is just visiting people. Like I'm no expert. I don't know anything about ghosts, but the way I see it, it might be that. Okay. Moving on. Are y'all enjoying these stories? Okay. Comment down below if you guys are. Okay, so this one is titled Out of Body Experience When I Was Younger. I'm trying to figure out if the second paragraph goes along with this story or if it's another story or what. Okay, let's read. We will figure it out. Okay, it's titled Out of Body Experience When I Was Younger. When I was younger, probably around 7 or 9, I remember having an OOB experience while I was sleeping. What is an OOB? Oh, out of body experience. Ooh, at least I taught myself something new today. Okay. I remember floating out of my body and looking down at myself and thinking, wow, that's weird. I'm sleeping right there. And then I just floated or flew around the house. And then when I was tired of flying around, I figured I would fly back into my body. And I remember entering through the top of my head and instantly waking up. Okay, once my soul or spirit form was fulfilling back in my body. I've told several people about this. Okay, I've told several people about this, and some believe me, some think I was just having a vivid dream. Anyone else have an experience like this? Well, I have never. I don't know about you guys. Have y'all ever had an experience like this? But then doesn't an out of body experience happen to like people who are about to like pass on? Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Anyone else have okay? I've also had a lot of lucid dreams where I've talked to dead no. Mostly these things they happen to people who are about to pass away. Like I don't know, but the way from what I know, it happens to someone who's about to, you know. I've also had a lot of lucid dreams where I've talked to dead family members, but it's always hard to recollect the conversations when I wake. My mom knew some mediums when she was alive, and some believe I was reincarnated. How the hell did you write this thing? And then This guy or this lady goes on to say, another interesting event is when I was really young, maybe 5, and we were at the fair having some food after riding rides. And I turned to my mom and told her out of the blue that I once was another boy, but he died. Obviously, she was shocked and surprised at what I said and asked, why did I say that? To which I replied, I don't know. It wasn't until I was a teenager that she told me she had a miscarriage several years before I was born. Yeah, hectic. Okay, let's see. Fast forward. Okay. This story is titled A Weird Dream I Always Had as a Child. I'm a 20-year-old male, and as a kid, around 5 to 9 years old, I used to have this recurring dream that still sends chills down my spine whenever I think about it. In my in the dream, I was sitting in the back seat of our family's blue what? What is it pronounced Scheisler or Schreisler? Okay. My dad was driving and we were on our way to the next town over. That town had the swimming center where I was learning to swim. Okay. I had asthma as a child, and this was a place specifically for kids with respiratory issues to train and earn their swimming diplomas. That is good. The dream always started the same, calm, normal. But as we approached the center, something would change. Right as the car entered the gate, I'd see something so vivid, so real that it still feels burned into my mind. A friend of my brother, a friend of my brother's was there, being forcibly dragged by his parents toward the building. How sure are you that it was his parents? He was crying, clawing at the ground, desperate to get away, but they wouldn't stop. Behind him, a massive line of children with their parents stretched out, all being pulled forward, none of them willing, none of them smiling. I recognized every single I recognized every single child in that line. They were kids I knew from school, from the neighborhood. But they didn't look right. Their faces were pale, their movements stiff, their eyes blank like they weren't really there. Remember that this is a dream, right? I remember feeling this overwhelming sense of dread, like my stomach was tying itself into knots. I begged my dad to turn the car around, but he wouldn't even look at me. He just kept driving and driving, completely silent, completely focused on getting us inside. Inside where? Okay, let's fast forward. Hmm. It's how well this guy remembers the details of this dream. Like, I tend to forget my dreams most of the time, and that is not good. Okay, it continues. When we entered the facility, everything shifted. The world outside faded and the inside felt wrong. The lighting was dim, almost non existent, and the hallways were eerily quiet. It had this strange, lifeless atmosphere, like what I'd now describe as liminal, but at the time it just felt suffocating. I was led through a series of blank, featureless rooms. No windows, no furniture, just sterile white walls. I didn't see anyone else, but I could hear muffled noises, faint crying, low whispers, things shuffling just out of sight. Eventually, I was forced into this darkened area that looked like an operating room. It had this sickly glow to it, as if the light bulbs were dying, and the air felt thick, almost unbreathable. What if you were in hell? I couldn't move. I couldn't speak. All I could do was lie there, staring up at the flickering light, waiting for something to happen. That's when I'd wake up every single time, right before whatever was going to happen actually happened. What's strange is that I've never had issues with swimming pools or doctors. Moko batlang. Mom, you are disturbing me. Okay, doctors. I wasn't scared of them at all as a kid. But this dream, it came back over and over again, exactly the same, down to every single detail. Even now, as an adult, I can still see it so clearly. The blue, the what, the blue, is this word pronounced Schreisler or Scheisler? The crying kids, the dim hallways, the operating room, it feels like something I shouldn't remember, but somehow I do. Fast forward, what could it mean? Yo, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But that was a weird dream, honestly. For the mere fact that it's still happening even now when he's an adult, I don't know, man. Yo. Moving on. Okay. There's something live. This is another story, by the way. There's something living in my grandma's piano. I've written this post. Hi, fucking you. I really need to stop swearing. I need to stop swearing. I've written this post 3 times now, and each time I've scrapped it because I was sure it sounded insane. Okay, I don't know if this will be any better. It's not like it'll change anything, but I need to tell someone. I need advice. I inherited a piano from my grandmother 3 months ago. That sentence feels cursed already, like the start of something like the start, hi man, like the start of some gothic novel or a cliche ghost story, but I'm gonna kill your ass. Fucking fly. Enemy of progress. Well, inherited it. Okay. That sentence feels cursed already, like the start of some gothic novel or a cliche ghost story, but it's the truth. She didn't even play the thing, the grandmother, okay? None of us did. It had been in her house as long as I could remember, sitting in the front room like an oversized coffin, collecting dust and taking up way too much space. She used to joke that it came with the house and that it would stay with it when she was gone. What? She used to joke that it came with the house and that it would stay with it when she was gone. Haibo. Did the grandmother knew? Okay. But it didn't. The house sold fast after she passed, and my parents, being practical, decided the piano was too valuable to leave behind. It was one of those old uprights with ornate carvings along the top and sides, all dark wood polished to an oily shine. Even in the dim lighting of her house, the carvings looked strangely organic, okay? They curled and twisted like ribs of vines growing around themselves. I always hated that thing. But I live in a small house and my parents don't. So guess who got stuck with it? At first, it was just furniture. It sat against the wall in my living room, a hulking thing that didn't match anything else. I never touched it. I barely looked at it. But over time, I started noticing little things that didn't sit right. Fast forward. And, this fly is disturbing me, and I'm gonna kill it. It began with the power outages. At some random times, my lights would